Your next comedian has been on tour with Tina her whole tour, and he's coming to us from Austin, Texas. Clap those hands for the very funny Tim Bridge.
Hello, everybody. Oh, we can do better than that. Hello, everybody. Yeah, beautiful. This is my first time in Denver. I've never been to Denver, Colorado before. This is the coldest it's been for me in a long fucking time. I moved from Vermont to Austin, Texas last year. And then this summer in Texas, we had a fun thing happen where we broke the record for number of 100-degree days in a row until next year. Yeah, that's we don't like thinking about that one. Previous record, 25 days. New record, 52. Why? That was not fun for me. So I'm very happy to be in the warm embrace of your chilly town. So thank you so much. I do like, one of my favorite people in the entire world is in Denver. And that is Denver Nuggets star player Nikola Jokic. Yeah? We got some Nuggets fans in the crowd. Congratulations on your championship. Incredible. A lot of you don't give a fuck. That's the read I got from this crowd. We're seeing Tina Friml in what can only be described as a saw basement. So I can understand that we might not be sporty people. I love Nikola Jokic because he is arguably the best basketball player on the planet, and he doesn't give a fuck. He won the championship, and they were just like, how does it feel? You know, every basketball player wants to win the championship. How do you feel? And he's just like, I just want to go home to Serbia because those are where my horses are. Which is a very fun thing to picture, is 7-foot-tall Nikola Jokic riding a horse. It's just very fun. I love the energy of just like, this is a 9 to 5. You pay me $300 million. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. Fun thing happened to me this year. I turned 31 years old this year. Thank you. Some of you may be surprised by that because it looks like my fucking mom dropped me off here. Stuart around the corner. Pick me up at 11. I got a young face. I know I have a young face. I know that because last year, 30 years young, I had this happen to me, which, very relatable. I got carded at a Best Buy. Trying to buy an R-rated movie. I don't know if you guys have ever had that happen to you when you've been on this earth for 3 decades, and there's a middle-aged woman who's just like, I don't know. Mad Max Fury Road might be inappropriate for this boy. And yeah, I got scared at some of the splody parts, but watched that dang thing all the way through. Joke's on you, Best Buy lady. Another fun thing that happened to me, I'm done with college. Guys, this year I got done with college. Thank you. If you're doing some math in your head, yeah, it took me 13 years. I just want to be clear with you guys when I say that it took me 13 years that I'm not saying that Tim is a doctor and a surgeon and a lawyer all in one. That's not the case. I also want to be clear with you guys that when I say that I'm done with college, that's not the same as me saying I graduated college. I'm just done with it. I was a film major before I dropped out, which I think makes it that much more pathetic. Like, it wasn't like I was struggling through biochem. It was more just like, hey, Tim, what'd you think of Citizen Kane? I don't know. I have anxiety. Is that the correct answer? I'm just gonna go. Can I just go? Wait, can I go, but can I still owe you thousands of dollars a year in loans that they said, hey man, you don't have to pay him anymore, and now you have to fucking pay him again. Everything is bad. No notes for college. I watch movies. You guys like, do you watch, you watch movies? fucking herd music, you guys. I love movies. I think I watch them a little bit too much, though. They kind of mess with my perception of what is and isn't. We'll call it reality. I'll give you an example. I finally saw that movie La La Land, and when I was done with it, I was just like, oh man, I really related to that Ryan Gosling character. Him and me, we're basically the same. Like, are we though? When Ryan Gosling looks sad in a movie, he looks like a puppy that's like still like a sexy puppy. And I'm like, ooh, I don't like that. When I look sad, I also look like a puppy, but like one of those ASPCA puppies where you're like, fuck, change the channel! No! Ryan Gosling looks like Ryan Gosling, and I look like Bill Nye the Science Guy's bisexual niece. And one day I'm gonna tell that joke and it won't explode into laughter. And I'll feel good about what I look like. But tonight's not that night, is it, guys? No. Ryan Gosling looks like Ryan Gosling, and I look like Harry Potter if he just stayed under the staircase. If he was just like, no. I'm not going with the 9-foot-tall bearded man. I'm not riding on your flying motorcycle. I feel like less of my uncles will die if I just stay down here and hunker down. I bought a pair of circular glasses a couple weeks ago. I'm leaning into it, man. You gotta. I'm trying to do really well with those women who have that fucking triangle, circle, line thing that they now regret because of the author. Who could have seen it coming? The elves love to be slaves. Who could have seen it coming? I have a friend who lives in Denver who, a thing with stand-up comedians that you may not know is everybody in your life is like, oh my God, I can't wait to see you do stand-up comedy. And then a solid 0% of them do. Because it's hard to, schedules are busy. So I have a friend in Denver and I was just like, hey, doing stand-up, you should come out and see it. She was like, sorry, I can't tonight because I have to watch the new Little Mermaid movie. And I was just like, oh, is that in theaters? And she was like, no. It's on Disney Plus. And here's the thing. I looked it up. That movie has fucking 67% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I like to think I'm at least 69% good at comedy. I did not watch the new Little Mermaid not because I'm racist. There were people. Did we see this? There were people that were just like, a black mermaid? That's ridiculous. It's just like, you're have a horrible existence. I didn't watch that movie because those movies are all bad. Sorry if you like them, but you're wrong. They're bad. The trend in movies that's just like, hey, you know that movie that you loved when you were this big? Well, we made it an hour longer. And a lot worse. It started with the Beauty and the Beast. They made the Beauty and the Beast movie, and that made a brilliant... Clap your hands if you saw the Beauty and the Beast movie. Yeah. Some tepid applause. Deserved tepid applause for the Beauty and the Beast movie. I didn't like that movie in part because in that movie, the Beast is too hot as the Beast. Do you agree? Okay? And you should, if you've seen it. That movie is supposed to be that this woman overcomes the hideousness of this monster, and truly falls in love with what is deeply inside of him. And for me, like 10 minutes in, I'm just like, I would. You don't have to change for me, bro. Be my guest. Come on. Put my service to the test. There's a scene in that movie where she's like cleaning his wounds and he has like a CGI but fur six-pack. I'm like, why is that in there? You don't want me to have a boner in a theater with a lot of children in it right now. You've done this to me, Disney. You're evil people. I watched the old animated Beauty and the Beast movie as to cleanse my palate. After seeing it, because I love that movie. But if you haven't seen that movie in a while, that movie is pretty fucked up, okay? If you haven't seen it in a while, here's the plot of the original Beauty and the Beast movie. An old enchantress is making her way through the woods. She happens upon a castle. She needs a place to stay. She offers up an enchanted rose as payment. And the 11-year-old boy prince who lives there turns her away. And for his arrogance, he is transformed into a beast, and she enchants the entire castle. And if he is not able to find true love by his 21st birthday, then they are all doomed to stay that way forever. And that is very unfair. Because I don't know if you guys remember being 11. But if an old woman came up to your home and was just like, hey, what's going on? Yo, can I stay here? I'll give you a magic flower. You'd probably be like, no. And then she'd be like, all right, well, now you're a monster until someone wants to fuck you. What? I'm 11, I haven't really grasped the whole fuck thing yet. All right, that's fine. I was a jerk. At least no one else is suffering. I turned your best friend into a candle until he died. What? Why? I mean, it's awful convenient that his name is Lumiere. Kind of works out for him. All right, at least it's only humans that are I turned the dog into an ottoman! Why are you doing this? And what specifically are your powers? It's very confusing. Just like I can make the rose float and the petals will fall, and that's the dictation of time. I turned the butler into a clock, too. A very confusing witch. And don't get me wrong, I'm all for cursing children. Do it, mandate it. But it's gotta make sense. Another cool thing that I did recently, I recently got on my phone in my pocket, I pulled it out of my phone, and I took all of the apps on there that are for fucking, and I said, goodbye! I deleted all the fuck apps. They're called dating apps, but they're fuck apps. I deleted them. I deleted them for the same reason that we got out of Afghanistan. It was just 12 years and no results. What am I even doing here, man? This sucks for me. I always feel like you're never in a good, place, both mentally and physically, when you're doing those apps. I'm either very horny or on the toilet. And sometimes I'm both. Dangerous position to be in. I don't like those apps because it's a very. I feel like when you meet a person in person, you know within like 5 minutes, like, no. But when you're on the apps, you can be chatting with them back and forth for a while, and then you meet up, and then you're just like, I wish I would have just met you. Like, give you an example, I went on a date with a woman from one of the apps, and maybe this is why it's not working out for me, but I shared that I have body dysmorphia. That's a fun, cool thing that goes on with me. I have body dysmorphia. And she heard me say this, and she was just like, bullshit. And I was just like, no, it's not like I have a doctor and he said so. And she was just like, oh yeah, you got body dysmorphia? Then do it. I was just like, what? She's just like, then do it! Transform into an animal! And I was like, do you think that body dysmorphia means shapeshifter? Because I wish that's what it meant, because that's the opposite of body dysmorphia. I wish I was a fucking Animorph novel cover. Just like, human, less human, meerkat. I got big meerkat energy, guys. I'm like an indoor boy, but sometimes I'll poke my head out. No, let's go back and say. I can see what's happening. I want to tell you guys the story of a thing that happened to me that's been kind of fucking me up. That happened to me last year. Just a show of hands, this is a very common thing that happens. Has anyone else been assaulted because of a Taylor Swift song? No? Just me? Just this cool fucking guy up here? Yeah, I'll tell you the story. I was at a friend's birthday party. She rented out a bar. It was a prom-themed birthday party. I don't know if you've ever been to something prom-themed when you're 30, but gross. Not a fan. Not trying to cosplay as a 17-year-old. That was not a good time in life for me. But I went button-down shirt, a black tie, jean jacket, chaperone English teacher. That was. I dressed like I'd catch you smoking pot in the bathroom, but I'd show you how to do it right, you know? Gotta learn how to roll these, Jeremy. You're going to Berkeley next year. Anybody want to come after school and watch Kill Bill with me? I had a teacher who asked me that in high school. And I was just like, fucking no. Volume 1 or Volume 2. But it was like 2 a.m. We were all very, very drunk, having a very fun time. And then the Taylor Swift song, I Knew You Were Trouble, comes on. I don't know if you're aware of this song, but the chorus of that song is Taylor Swift screaming, ah! Ah! Trouble, trouble, trouble. No notes, Taylor. I got no notes for Taylor. She's making a lot of people who watch the NFL very mad right now, and I love her for that. We love her for that. That's a good thing. But I want to say I was like 3 seconds away from the next blah, and me and my friends, what we were doing the whole song was whenever the blah part came, we would throw our heads back, and as loud as we could, we would just, ah! Ah! Because you're drunk, and you're supposed to be unencumbered by how you're supposed to act during a Taylor Swift song. So being drunk's all about. And so it was like 3 seconds away from the next blah, and then this woman who I did not know at the party came up to me. She's a white woman that will come into play later. She came up to me, and she was just like, do it again and see what happens. Which is a threat to a sober person. But I was very, very drunk. And so I was just like, this person's playing a hilarious joke with me. And obviously, she wants this next one to be my loudest blah yet. So it comes that time, bum, bum, bum. Ah! And then she fucking wound up and just full punch, just smacked me as hard as she could, right in the nose. And I was just like, I don't know what happened. My nose is bleeding, and she gets real close to me, and she just goes, yeah, that's what happens when white men don't understand that there are consequences to their actions. And if you could picture me, a leftist guy from Vermont, just being like, nose bleeding, like, I'm pretty sure that's about a different thing in society. I'm pretty sure when we finally have the Nuremberg trials for white men, there's not going to be a moment where they're like, oh yeah, and sometimes they are also too loud during a Taylor Swift song that I like. Right, everybody? I didn't know what to do in that moment, so I did what I think any rational person would do. I walked outside, I chain smoked 4 cigarettes, and then I walked home crying in the rain. Taylor would be proud. Don't you do that to me. Oh, dude, if you thought I was gonna leave this joke with a shredded dignity, fuck you, you're wrong. I ran into the bartender the next day, the bartender who had bartended the event, and he was just like, oh my God, man, I'm so sorry that happened. We banned her from the bar, she's not coming back. And if it's any consolation to you, the moment that she arrived, I clocked her. I was just like, oh my God, that person's gonna be a fucking problem. And I was like, oh, so you knew she was trouble when she walked in. And now I'm lying on the cold, hard ground. Wow! All right, I'm Tim Bridge. Thank you guys so much. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Keep it going for Tim Bridge.